everyone, welcome to Montessori Matters with Blessing Fort-Ike. In this video, I discuss engaging your child in conversation. Communication plays a vital role in shaping our children's personality and our relationship with them. I've come to understand that talking to our children is different from having a meaningful conversation. Talking might be instructing our children, giving them information on what they should do and what they should not do. While meaningful conversation is having a dialogue with your child. And you people will share ideas and you will gain understanding from each other's perspectives. That is what meaningful conversation is about. It's different from just giving instructions and just giving information. It is a dialogue. It is communicating. You talk and you wait for response. And you see things from the other's perspective. That is meaningful conversation. That is meaningful communication. And I've observed that from 2 years and above, you can have a meaningful conversation with your children. Whether they are 2, they are 5, they are 10, you can engage them in conversations and it will be meaningful if you are deliberate. So it is important we maximize this opportunity and develop their conversation skill because the benefits are enormous. The benefits are just so much. But in this video, I will mention a few of the benefits. The first thing I want to say is that meaningful conversation strengthens the bond between you and your child. It also helps your child to develop empathy. How? When you see things from their perspective continuously, they understand that you are seeing things from their perspective. So when it comes to other people, they will learn to see things from other people's perspectives, which is empathy. Sometimes they might not agree with the people, but they might see things from their perspective. That is what empathy is about. As you engage your children in meaningful conversation, they develop empathy. Another benefit of having meaningful conversation from your children is that it's an avenue to share and receive important information. You can get information from your children with their dealings with other people, maybe their siblings, their relatives, their friends, their peers, their teachers in church, in school, even your help within the home. You can get meaningful conversation. You can get information from them when you engage them in meaningful conversation. Another benefit of a meaningful conversation is that it helps to develop the listening skill of your children. As they listen, as you communicate with them, they learn to listen so that they can understand what you are saying. They respond to you. By so doing, they are developing their listening skill. And we all know that in communication, listening is a vital skill that a lot of people crave for. Some people say, you're just waiting to respond. You're not really listening to understand what I'm saying. You're just waiting for your turn to talk. So, but when you engage them from a very tender age, they will understand what it means to listen to other people's communication, other people's words, for them to understand and be able to respond. So it helps them to develop their listening skill. Some of us as adults, it takes intentionality, patience, and self-control to listen. So I think it's a good skill to develop in our children as early as possible. Another advantage is that it enriches their vocabulary bank. How? As you communicate with them, as you have conversations with them, you put in new words and you use it in context. By so doing, they are getting acquainted to a lot of words and you are filling up their vocabulary bank. Another benefit of meaningful conversation is that it will help you and your child to know yourselves better. There are some things you will never know about your child if you don't engage them in meaningful conversation. It can also help you have an understanding of how your children see the world around them. What do they understand of the different things, the different aspects of the world? Through conversations, you'll be able to know the perspective of your children. to be able to know how they see the world. It can also help you know and understand the impact of external influences. Like we all know, we are not the only influence on our children. There are other influences. So if you want to know the impact of other influences on your children, you ought to engage them in meaningful conversation. So you will know the influence, the impact of it, whether it's positive or negative. The positive one, you will enhance them, while the negative one, you nip it at the bud. That's one benefit of having meaningful conversation with your children, engaging your children in meaningful conversation. Another thing this thing can also do for your child is that it will help them develop their presentation skill and public speaking skill, which is what everybody wants to do. A large percentage of adults are afraid to speak in the public, so you can develop this from an early age in your child. The last benefit I want to share is that it will help your children to make friends easily. If they can speak, if they can communicate easily and in a friendly manner and get it in from other people's perspective, they'll be able to make friends easily. So having heard the benefits, I know you are eager to engage your children in meaningful conversation. You might be asking, okay, what kind of conversations can I have with my child? I would say there are a lot of conversations you can engage your child in. You can talk about your family. You can talk about your family values. You can talk about your nuclear family. You can talk about your faith. You can talk about sex. You can talk about sexuality. You can talk about personality. There are a lot of things you can talk about, even making friends. So you might be saying, I don't have time. I'm so busy that I wouldn't even have time to have this conversation with my children. I will tell you, just make up your mind that you want to have a conversation with your children. You want to engage your children in conversation. There will be time. So let me just give you some suggestions of times and places that you can have meaningful conversations. You can engage your children in meaningful conversation. If you have the opportunity to take your children to and fro school, this is a time to engage them in conversations. As you move on the road, remember you are moving, just strolling to school, you can engage them in conversations while coming or while going to school or while in the car to and fro. You can engage them in meaningful conversation. Other times and places you can have meaningful conversation with your children is during meal time. Either when you are making meals or when you are taking meals, that is a good time, a good window to engage your children in conversations, and they will so enjoy it because they will be relaxed, just gisting with their mom or their dad. Then I would say during long trips, you can engage them in conversations while traveling. So I believe that with this, you will engage your children in conversations. We have discussed what meaningful conversation is. I've mentioned some of the benefits. I've given you some suggestions on some discussions that you can have. And I've also given you some suggestions of places and time that you can engage your children in conversations. Next week, I'm going to discuss how to develop meaningful conversations with your children so that it will benefit you and benefit your child. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and please share with your contacts. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.